Yikes. Good morning, guys. Today, we're cleaning up this skimmer. It has gone for a while, and I have not cleaned it, the body out. I've done the collection cup many times. I actually already did that. But I wanted to clean out the body, especially the intake, as well as the tube and the silencer. I feel like it's not getting as much bubbles as it once was, so I feel like there's something that is getting in the way of the air getting pulled in and sucked into the pump, and maybe even the impeller. I don't know, we'll check that out. But it is definitely covered in Q-tip sponges. They are everywhere down here in the sump right now, simply because there's a lot of organics going on with all the feeding that I'm doing for the anemones and the Duncans. So I thought I would take this opportunity to show you guys this dirty skimmer. Congratulations. You're welcome. All right, I'll get you down in here so you can actually see what I'm talking about here. So as you can see here, I don't know how well you can see that they're Q-tip sponges, but they are just everywhere, littered up this line. On the outside, you got Q-tips all over the outside, and there's actually Q-tips on the inside here. So I know, and they're all around the venturi, so I know that there are tons of little things in here possibly hindering the flow of water and air and the mixture. So I want to make sure that I'm going to clean this up really nice and good, and see what the difference is between when it was just running now and I was looking at it, and what it'll look like after I get this all cleaned up. So first things first, we're going to take out these screws. Well, actually, you know what? No, first things first, I'm going to take off this venturi, the airline. I'm going to go clean that up really nice, and then we're going to take out these 4 base screws, get this body off here, go clean up the body real quick, and then we'll get the pump off, take the impeller out and inspect that and get that all cleaned up, and then I will clean out the output tube as well. So thanks for joining Skimmate duty. Here we go. There's definitely gunk in here. So what I'm going to do is I'll just dismantle this whole thing so you can see it dismantled. I am going to see, I don't think the silencer itself comes off, so I'm just going to have to do this entire tube, because I definitely want to make sure. I do see a little bit here on the end of this little adjustment screw. There's a little bit of white growing on it, so I want to make sure that this tube is nice and clean. I'll go get a little scrub brush that can go inside this tube, but this is fairly, it's not bad, but there is some Q-tip sponges, so just want to make sure that everything's clean as possible. Let's loosen all these up. If you remember, these basically just hold on the bottom of the skimmer body. So we'll loosen these up and we'll be able to pull this guy right off. You can see there is a lot of Q-tip sponges. I don't know if you can tell that, but too bad if you can't. There are. So we'll take off this plate. This thing just pulls off. I'll probably dismantle this as well to do a deep clean. Opens up both of these. And then, as you can see, this base and pump are pretty well covered, so we'll just loosen up the one side, because I shouldn't have to loosen up the other to get the pump out. And these 2 screws hold down this little plastic piece that will help secure the pump ends. Now I can remove this piece, and the pump should be able to slide out. So now I'll take the pump cover off. We'll undo this. We have a little bit of water, and then we'll take the impeller out, of course, to clean this, and we'll clean the inside of the housing. There is some gunk in here. I actually see a little piece of carbon that's been probably stuck in there for who knows how long. So let's get to let's get to cleaning this mess up. Okay, real quick pause here. I don't know if you can tell that, but that is not a clean tube. I'll go clean it out and show you the difference. And definitely was not getting the air. So glad I glad I noticed that. That's why we pay attention to our equipment, so you can see these differences and know that something's up with it. Kind of like your car. If you ever feel like a car's off, usually something is. And just like that, you can see a huge difference here. It's clear again. So it goes to show you, do some regular maintenance on your system. That way you know everything is performing like it should. Alright, back at it. Just a fair warning, dangerous doing work right next to your sump when you don't have a closed stand. Drop this sucker right down into the sump. Okay, so now that that's all taken care of, let's put it back together. A couple of things to note to really take a look at when you're doing your cleaning, that you're going to want to make sure you're careful of inspecting, because those will be the parts that most greatly would affect your skimmate production and the efficiency of your skimmer. First things first is obviously our impeller. We want to make sure that this magnet is nice and clean. We don't have any scratches, gouges, or any bulging. We should be able to roll it on a table and it be completely smooth. Make sure your pinwheels are clean, your bushings, your shaft, everything's in good working order. With that, we also need to inspect our internal housing of the motor, make sure that all feels good, nothing that could be gouging the impeller, nothing's gotten in there. I had carbon go through parts of my sump, so that could have been really dangerous. That actually was most of the issue with what I found in this skimmer is like 3 pieces of carbon. So carbon could have really been dangerous for this impeller and really screwed that up. So I should have paid more attention to it once I saw that carbon go through it. But want to make sure that's nice and clean, nothing going on there. And then the other 2 pieces are obviously going to be our air silencer, making sure this is all cleaned up of any salt creep, anything else that could get in there, foreign matter. I was able to unscrew this. Here's a little port that you can undo as well that will drain any water or anything out of it that you get in there. But I took this little screw off, made sure that was nice and clean off the tip of that. So that's good to go. And then lastly, our venturi. Make sure that it's clean of debris and you don't have any salt creep or anything else that could clog up this line. Usually when we find that our skimmer is not producing as well as it is, it's going to either be the pump and skimmer combo, or pump and impeller combo, or the venturi has gotten clogged and there's something in the air line. So, and the funny thing is, again, I should have checked this when I saw the carbon go through, but I didn't even think about it for some reason. But this venturi is hooked up to the air silencer, obviously by the hose, and when I cleaned out this air silencer, there was actually a little chunk of carbon in here, which means that carbon ran from this venturi all the way up into the air silencer, which normally goes in the opposite direction. So, you know, could have caused some issues, but anyways, it's all cleaned out. So let's go ahead and reassemble this. And voila, our skimmer is back together. We're good to put it back in the sump. It'll be interesting to see now what it looks like once I get it plugged in. I wish I would have taken a before photo or before video of how the bubbles were acting prior to this, because now you're not going to have anything to gauge it against. And we're plugged in and we're working. I really wish I would have done a before video of this. I did not think of it, but this is an insane, massive difference between what it was doing prior. So now we just have to close off our return for the skimmer and we'll adjust the skimmer height. That'll take me a little bit playing with, figure out where it was. All right, guys, that's it for this week. Clean your skimmers, clean your pumps. This is why we do regular maintenance. You know, You're spending good money on this piece of equipment. It only, that took me 10 minutes. Took me more just because I'm filming it, but normally speaking, that'd take you maybe 10 minutes if you're quick about it and efficient. I mean, it's, we're spending a lot of money on these pieces of equipment. Why not take the extra 10 minutes once a month, once every other month, depending on what your system is doing. You gauge it, but it's going to save you all that money you spent, so you don't go and let it just go and go and go and go, and then eventually it's going to ruin your equipment to where you're not going to be able to fix it anymore, and you're going to have to replace the impeller, replace the pump, replace the entire unit. So do some regular maintenance on your pieces of equipment that you spend this money on, that you invest in for your fish and your coral, because it's going to help you out in the long run. It really will. So that's it, guys. I hope you had a great New Year's. Here's to 2020. I hope you had a great one in 2019. Let's make 2020 better. Be kind to people. Make sure you tell someone you love them today. And we'll see you next week. Peace.
Hey guys. Thanks for tuning in. Press the subscribe button. Smash that like button. Press the notification button to get notified whenever we post a new video. And